who's in your life and how are they affecting you? Are they affecting you positively or negatively? And it's been suggested by the behavioural scientists, the neuroscientists, the head doctors, that the people that we invest, spend or waste the most time with will have the most influence on our life. So if you're in a circle has 3, 4, 5 people in it and they're all healthy, fit and strong, they all have a career or business that they love, they're all on track to being financially free if they're not already, and you love having them in your life, then you are more likely to have those things going for you. The reverse of that, if most of the people in your life are unhealthy, they're inactive, they have a lousy, stinking, rotten job, they're broke or struggling for money, and they're not very nice people, it's very likely that you'll be heading in that same direction. So are we choosing wisely when it comes to people? It's one of the reasons why I have 5 dogs, because I just love the way my dogs make me feel. I love that they love me, I love them, and it's just a beautiful relationship. From a health and fitness perspective, though, is it possible, and have you ever blamed other people for the way you look and feel, your energy levels, your health, the way your body is giving you what you need or not need for your life? So I'm going to give you the worst example of that. I had a client, she shared with me openly that she was trying to keep her husband fat because she didn't want him to be attractive to other women. So she fed him lots of food and all of his favourite things so that he would be a fat boy, so that other women didn't want to have anything to do with him. I think that's really ugly. And I'm just using that as a really extreme example of how the people in our life can influence us. Now, if you met that man, he was very happy for his wife to cook him yummy food and he just kept eating it and he just stayed very, very overweight. So could he blame his wife for that? Probably, but are we not adults that have to take full responsibility for how we live our life? So if everybody around you is inactive, so everybody sits on the couch, eats crappy food, watches television, is constantly on a screen, doesn't get outside for fresh air and sunshine, and doesn't like to be active, then what are you going to do about that? Are you going to keep those people in your life? Are you going to try and change them? And one of the things I've learnt the hard way as an adult, an old lady adult, is that people don't like to change. They'll change if they want to, but you trying to get them to change is not usually going to happen. The beautiful thing, though, is we get to choose who we have in our life, and it's one of my non-negotiable standards. And I always ask this for people if they're going into a new relationship. Do you have a list of non-negotiable, uncompromising standards that you would this is the only kind of person that you would have in your life? So, for example, I would never have a relationship with somebody that wasn't healthy, fit and strong. I wouldn't be in a relationship with a smoker. I wouldn't be in a relationship with somebody that was rude to me or disrespectful or physically or mentally abused me. That's my non-negotiable standard. So you get to choose who you have in your life, and you get to choose the kind of people you have in your life. But most importantly, don't we get to choose who we are? And that's why if you like who you are, if you respect yourself, if you are healthy, fit and strong, and you eat healthy food, and you're lean and energetic and you love your life, then you're more likely to attract that kind of person into your life. But even if you don't, it doesn't matter, because you love who you are. So you're never lonely because you like being by yourself, because you like who you are. Isn't that awesome? So your health, your fitness, yes, of course, your career or business and your financial situation can be affected by the people around you. And are you allowing or letting those people affect you negatively or positively? And what a great position to be in. Everybody in your life is healthy, fit and strong. Everybody's got a career or business that they love. Everybody's financially free or on track to being that. And you love having them in your life. I love saying that, because is there any other way to live your life? And if you've got people who are not like that, if you've got people who don't look after themselves, who have a lousy, stinking, rotten job, who are constantly struggling for money because they waste money or they gamble or they do crazy stuff with their money and waste it, so they're not financially free, will that have an influence on you? And according to the behavioural scientists, I'll share again, even if you think it doesn't have an influence on you, it certainly will. So what a great position to be in. And I always share this. I want our kids to know that they get to choose who they have in their life. They don't, and this is a very controversial question, but even your family, whoever's in your life at the moment, why are they there? And if they are your family, if they are treating you badly, or if they have a negative effect on your life, or if they're disrespectful to you, if they weren't your family, would you have them in your life? And that's, I think, a really important question, because we often say, oh, but they're my family. Yeah, but either you don't go as often, you don't stay as long, but why do you have to have anybody in your life who's not adding value to your life? So I'll ask the question again. Who's in your life? Are they adding value or are they devaluing your life? Are you adding value to the people in your life? Are you living the example of healthy, fit, strong, lean, energetic? You've got a career or business that you love. You're on track to being financially free if you're not already. And you only accept beautiful people. And if the answer is yes, then maybe you're having a positive effect on the people in your life. But should we be aware that negative people also have a negative effect on us? And I always share this story. I lived in a house. I lived in Belgium for a couple of years, small European country, and I was single at the time. And in that house, there were 2 Australians, a South African, an American, 2 English people, and we all went. Oh, and a New Zealander. And all of us went home sounding like we were from the UK. We all sounded English because the 2 people, the 2 strongest accents in the house, we all spoke the same language. We all spoke English. But the 2 strongest accents in that house were very strong Cockney accents from the UK. And when I came home, people said to me, Rowa, you sound like you've been in the UK, not in Belgium, for 2 years. I'm sharing that with you because even if we think people don't have an influence on us, is it possible that they do? And should we be aware, consciously aware of who's in our life? Are they respecting us? Are they kind people? Are they beautiful people? If they're not healthy, fit and strong, is that affecting us? Are we making excuses for things because of the people in our life? And if the answer is yes, could it be time to stop? Because if you want to live your life to the max, is it possible that you've got to have either great people in your life and or you need to be a great person? Because how else could you live your life to the max? Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max. What a beautiful evening. Woohoo!